Welcome to Lee Anderson's Real World. I'm Lee Anderson, the Reform UK Member of Parliament for Ashford. And tonight on the show, she returns, the lovely Emma Wolf, author and political commentator. And our left in the corner, she's back as well for about the third or fourth time, I think, Fahima. That's Fahima Mahomed. She's going to be our left into the corner tonight. And we're going to go head to head straight away because this week again in Parliament, we've seen Sir Keir Starmer make a weak, in my opinion, although he's not here to defend himself, a weak and pathetic statement on the actions over the conflict in Iran, Emma. Has he been weak? Has he let the US down? Has he ruined the special relationship?
I think Starmer has been weak. More than that, he's been unreliable. He's been an unreliable ally. He's been indecisive. He's been vacillating. He doesn't really know what he thinks. He is so haunted, I think, by the shadow of Tony Blair. He's so haunted by the shadow of Iraq that he's absolutely terrified. He's terrified about what's an illegal war and what is a legal war. Yeah. He needs to, he's also been extremely unprepared. He's actually left the UK dangerously unprepared. For the first time in half a century, we don't have any Navy warships in the Middle East. Yes, we now have one that's chugging its way over to Cyprus to help out, won't arrive there for another week. I
remember a time, Emma, when we actually got to the Falkland Isles quicker in 1982. I think it took 5 or 6 weeks to get to the Falklands Isles. We've got the ship stuck in Portsmouth now. Yeah. I mean, by the time it gets to Cyprus, the conflict will be over probably.
I mean, it's absolutely pathetic. And the thing is, Lee, I'm not a warmonger. I don't want us getting involved in all these foreign adventures. I don't want to get involved in other countries' regime change. Yeah. But the threat from Iran is a real and present threat. We've known about this for decades. This didn't just come out of the blue. Starmer should have been prepared. He should have at least known what he thought about this. And more than that, we have to be a reliable ally. Are we allies with the US or are we not?
So you see, Fahima, some political leaders like Zap Polanski of the Green Party would argue that we should keep our noses out of the conflict in Iran. And it feels to me that although the country's divided over this conflict, that there are certain people would sooner take sides with the wrong uns that's in Iran that's causing these problems. I mean, it is a wicked, awful regime. And I think, personally, that we should be supporting the US and Israel in getting rid of this dictatorship.
Well, I think the Iran conflict is, you have to think of it as nuance. It's just not one side. And there are many people that are for the actual Ayatollah, who is seen as a leader, a supreme leader. And if you're talking about the threat for decades, it just goes to show that nothing really has happened. It's only been spoken decade after decade, especially Netanyahu. And this is actually Netanyahu's war. It's not even USA. A lot of people, even in Congress, and a lot of spokespersons in the US says that whether it was the tariffs that was illegal and now they have to pay back billions, the ICE killings, which were also illegal, and now the illegal war, which does not, go in form with international law. Britain is looking out for their own interests right now. You may or may not be a Starmer fan, but I think he's actually doing the wiser thing right now. We do not have the troops, and even from the last war, they are still suffering from people not wanting to come in to actually fight for this country. Majority of people who are even saying that they're patriots would not want to. The aftermath of that has been scarred for decades, and if not more. And young people or anyone else do not support the government in going into war like they did before. And it's definitely so many other countries other than Iran. The GCC has got similar sort of governments, similar threats, so-called, and so many different atrocities that are happening. But we pick and choose, and we're always having a double standard, and we're not consistent when we are calling out. Saudi Arabia is an ally. It's got similar government. It has similar atrocities, and we invest in them. And Starmer has had quite a lot of investment coming to this country from Saudi Arabia, from Qatar, from across the globe to actually secure jobs and security and many other things. And we do lack 100%. There is a work in progress. But if you want to, address the Iran conflict, it is absolutely illegal, absolutely unnecessary. And people are now wanting to impeach Trump from the Democrats. And they're even taking over when it comes to certain.
Well, I think, okay, Fahima.
Certain states.
We sort of get the point.
Hello, I'm Bev Turner. Now, it can feel like the money in our bank accounts at the moment does not keep up with the cost of living. And maybe there's a solution. I'm here today with the CEO of TallyMoney, Cameron Parry. Cameron, what is TallyMoney?
Well, Bev, with TallyMoney, you get a current account and a debit card, but instead of pounds, you use milligrams of gold as your everyday money.
So why gold?
Gold traditionally is a great store of value. It has, on average, gone up at over 11% per annum for the last 25 years against the pound. It's tripled in value in the last decade. And in the last 2 years alone, it's increased by 50% against the pound. Banks' savings products just can't compete with that level of growth.
But this isn't just about gold. This is about a currency that you guys have created at TallyMoney. Explain it to me as though I'm an idiot.
So, look, people need to be able to hold their earnings and build their savings in a money that retains its value and remains in their legal control and remains theirs to access, away from government control.
Great. You had me at not exposed to government control.
You should feel safe and happy with your money. You should have peace of mind. The more money you see in your bank balance, and that's the type of thing we're trying to deliver, and give people choice in the type of money they get to use every day.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Cameron. Thank you.
All right, well, I tell you what's illegal is enriching uranium. The threat from Iran is an existential threat. And as I say, I'm not a warmonger. I don't want us going in and bombing other countries, and I don't want us getting involved in messy regime change. But this is an existential threat. We have been trying. If you don't take action now, when? There is a time for caution. There is a time for international law and lawyers like Keir Starmer who want to go through the process. And then there is a time for action, like Donald Trump.
But what message are we sending out to people like Russia and all of those places? It doesn't make sense if you're not going to even comply with law. If one person doesn't do it right, that means, do we forget it?
Oh, the Ayatollahs comply with law. The Ayatollahs comply with law now.
We should be setting the standard. We are the West.
So the international law only applies to us, seemingly. This is an existential
threat. But they haven't even thrown any rockets or targeted to anyone.
At some point.
Go for it.
We've been trying to negotiate with Iran over nuclear enrichment, over nuclear weapons, over their ballistic missile program.
During that negotiation, that's when Trump pulled back and started to go into war. Did you not know what's going on?
I think you need to reduce your aggressive attitude.
This is all propaganda and rhetoric.
Let somebody else have a say. You've had your say, Emma.
I'm going to finish my sentence, which I started. I've started till finished. We have been trying to negotiate with them over their nuclear weapons program, over their ballistic missiles for a very, very long time. This didn't just happen overnight. This didn't just come out of a clear blue sky. Starmer should have been prepared. He wasn't. Trump is taking action, just like he did in Venezuela.
Illegal action.
He is removing the bad guys, whether you agree with him or not, about how he does it, about the fact that he sometimes overlooks the niceties of international law. Actually,
it's a joke.
Can I just
which is safer?
I want to ask a question.
To not have any warships even circling a very, very dangerous conflict region, or Trump?
Well, I want to ask Fahima a question. Do you seriously lie awake at night, Fahima, worrying about us breaking international law?
It's not about that.
That's a simple question.
We have to actually have standards and procedures.
What happens?
Otherwise, other countries that we are also in conflict with would also take control, whether it's China, whether it's anyone else. We have to set the precedent.
Do you think the mullahs and the Ayatollah lay awake at night?
It's not about them, and they haven't struck
It's exactly
twice.
about them.
They haven't struck first, okay? At the end of the day, this is something which is illegal, and like I said, a lot of people that are high up are now threatening to even get Trump out because this is now over the edge. He has gone rogue. And they were in the middle of negotiations. He just didn't like the outcome because there was some resolve.
When they launch nuclear
was.
weapons on your children, do you care about international law?
Well, some people.
But it was preemptive. There's no threat. Even the US has come out and said.
Oh, there's no threat from Iran now.
The US have even said there was nothing that was threatening for them to cause war right now. Have you not seen the latest news? There are so many things that are coming out right now. The Ministry of Justice and a lot of defense have actually said that. So
sorry,
what
where
are
were you in
about?
January? Where were you in January when Ayatollah Khamenei was killing thousands of his own people?
Well, that's not documented,
on
and
the
also
streets
evidence
of
with the
Tehran.
numbers there. That has
Are you
also
denying
come
that,
outside.
Fahima? You think
I think it has happened, but it's not again
January
as
didn't
what
happen.
you said.
Okay.
No one was killed on the streets.
Emma,
of
go
No
for
one
it.
said that. Don't
I mean, why do you think
things wrongly when I'm speaking? That's completely wrong and incorrect. I am saying the numbers are incorrect. This is an Israeli war. This is just like you.
How
This
do you
is an
know,
Iraqi, that's how you know, I know. Same difference, okay?
What do you
At
think?
the end
What
of
do
the
you
day,
think, Emma?
this is an Israeli war, nothing else. And even the US have actually claimed that. It's got nothing to do with anything
So
else.
if it's an Israeli war, then Fahima, why are they bombing Cypriot air bases?
Well, they even said that it couldn't have come from Iran, and that's the recent news as well. I was checking on the way here.
Well, who's sending
it
them
was
then?
actually sent probably from Israel, maybe from somewhere else.
From
Because
Israel?
It's a false flag.
Israel are bombing our
Because
bases?
It's a false flag. A lot of the
Oh
times
my
it is
God.
happening because Israel wants to have
Right,
a
we just
greater
calm down a little bit,
plan.
Fahima, now, because I need Emma to come back, because I was thinking you were speaking some nonsense there, but well, you come
That's
back.
your opinion, but a lot of people do agree with me.
I'm talking about a safer world, and I feel safer when the Iran threat has been neutralised.
Yeah.
And I know who can do that, and I know who can't.
Yeah.
And actually, if we live in the way that Fahima talks about, then we'll just leave them to carry on like this for another 5 decades.
yeah.
And Iran is an amazing country. It has an amazingly rich culture, an amazing history.
Yeah.
They deserve better.
Yeah.
They actually deserve better than this. And when you see thousands and thousands of Iranians out on the streets celebrating, surely that means something.
Means something, Fahima.
Yeah, it means that they're actually crazy to actually want their own countries bombed with their family in there. That's what I think. And a lot of people are speaking out about that. You're only talking from one sense. I recognize that, yes, there have been atrocities. I recognize all sides. But everyone here is only recognizing one. And if you like them so much, then you should be also welcoming to all the thousands and thousands of refugees that are actually going to come on our shores, which is what your party is fighting against. So which one is it? At the end of the day, you can't just have these international wars and don't think there's going to be a direct impact on us as well. So at the end of the day, I feel that when we think about this kind of thing, it is very much nuanced. We cannot just say it's nuclear weapons without evidence. We cannot say we go into war with a threat when they've never actually attacked anyone, the US included, as well as us. They've even said they could never reach the US. They could never ever do anything. They do not possess. In fact, Ayatollah Khamenei, out of religious reasons, would not actually want to have nuclear power. That's up against the faith of itself.
Come on now, you've got to come back on this,
That's what it
Emma.
said.
I will.
But obviously, you can say what you want. But at the end of the day, this
Fahima,
is
let Emma come back at that.
To say they're not a threat, they've never attacked anyone. Iran is the biggest exporter of state-sponsored terrorism in the world.
Yeah.
And to say that people are crazy, Iranians are crazy for going out and celebrating after decades of oppression, repression, after decades of women
Well, it hasn't changed
being
with this bombing
treated
either.
like absolute dirt. The fact that they're celebrating says it all.